Hello everybody, my name is Oleh, I'm a .NET developer, and today we are going to talk about such topic as authorization and authentication mocking in xUnit for your testing purposes. So it's just a continue of the previous topic, and it will be more advanced scenarios in order to cover these cases. So let's proceed. So as a prerequisite, we have our project which we have created in the previous video, so which contains just tests for anonymous pages and for the page which requires which has an authorization and which should redirect you to the login page in order when the user tries to access it without authorization. But how we can test that the page is accessible for the user who has an authorization, but we do not have to explicitly specify the credentials of that user, either connect to database and so on. So how we can figure that out? So first of all, we need to create a class for these purposes. One class which should have the inheritance from the authentication handler. So this way we are gonna to mock this authentication. So first of all, it will be a public class with the name, for example, admin mouse handler, and which will inherit from the authentication handler. So authentication handler, and of type of the authentication scheme options. Yeah, we have this one, and let's implement the members which this inheritance needs to have. So first of all, it needs to have a constructor which takes some options in order to create this object, and also we need to implement the handle authentication async method which makes the authentication mocking in the way we have to do that. So the constructor is done this way. So by default this class receives 4 parameters. So these are options monitor options, logger factory, URL encoder, and system clock. And all these parameters are passed to the base constructor of the authentication handler, this one. And let's implement the authentication method for this scenario. So first of all, we need to create the claims object, which is done just the same way as when you are doing some authentication stuff in the main application project. So it will be the new array of claims, and first one we need to specify new claim of the name. Let it be, so for the complete mocking, so claim types dot name, and let's give this mock a name of the test admin. And the other claim which we need to specify is the claim of the row, so it will be new. Then we are specifying the type of the claims identity dot default role claim type, and let's provide currently we will provide it implicitly, but next we are gonna to refactor it a bit for one other scenario. So here we have the claims object. Next we are gonna to create the identity. So identity will be the new claims identity, and having this one claims, and having the authentication type of test. After that, we need also to create the claims principal object. So the principal, and it will be new claims principal of this identity. Next, we need to create manually the authentication ticket for this scenario. So we need to do the ticket, and it will be new authentication ticket with that principal. And let's specify the authentication scheme as the test scheme. This way. So while we are not working with the real authentication scheme, we can provide the scheme as the tested one. And the two last actions in this scenario will be first one to get the result of the authentication, which will be authenticate result dot success, and let's provide this ticket to this constructor of this authentication result. So it will be based on this ticket. And while it's a task, we should provide the result of this task. So we need to return a task dot from result, and we provide this result. So and this method will be used for the test authentication scenario. But currently we do not have this scenario, so let's create also the nesting task, and it will be get page for admin. So, and it will be also theory with line data of the privacy, which here we provide this parameter, and our privacy page is the one with the authorized for the admin. So and what we need to do in this test case in order to test it against our admin auth handler. So first of all, just here is a range. We have done here in a range. We need to create the factory create client, but we need to do one more stuff here. So not just to create client, but also we need to do some additional pre-configuration. So first of all, factory dot with web host builder. So we need to inject some stuff in our web host builder of this program in order to get this stuff working. So it will be a builder, and this builder will have such an option as builder dot configure test services. Here we have both configure services and configure test services, which is granted by the ASP.NET Core test host. So we are not working with the real configure services method and the real functionality, but we are just mocking it in the semi-realistic way. So configure test services, and next we are gonna specify services, and we are gonna do it just like in the real case scenario. So add authentication, and next we need to provide the default scheme. So it will be default scheme of the test scheme here, and after that we need to add the scheme with the type with the type of the authentication scheme options, and let's provide the test our admin handler here. So, and we are providing this our handler in order to configure our test authentication scheme. And also we need to specify here one moment. So also we are providing the test scheme, and also we are providing the options as the empty ones. So we can do it just the way as a discarding. So because we do not have any other options here, and we need to close here. So, and let's make it more readable. So this way. And when we have this with webhost builder, let's make it a bit more readable, and only the next option is will be client, which we will create not from the factory but from the our just configured host builder. So host builder dot create client, and let's copy these options from here. So yeah, we are also not allowing the redirect in this way, and we are providing the client this way. And when we have this client, we also need to specify their request headers. So it can be done this way: client dot default request headers dot authorization, and we need to provide the new authentication header value with the scheme, which will be the test scheme. So, and I can easily omit this parameter naming, so this way, and it will work just the same way. So I have added this naming just for brevity and for more readability. So both options are completely valid. And after we have arranged this test, we need to act. So we need to act, and just the same way as we have acted here. So yeah, response client get async. And after that, we need to assert that our test has succeeded. So how we can do that? Just checking against status code. So we're gonna with assert dot equal http status code dot OK, and let's check it against response dot status code. So just this way, and let's rebuild our integration tests. And let's run and see whether it is succeeded. Yeah. So, and as we can see, we have got this test successfully running. But in the start of this video, I have talking about some other cases, and the other case can be just this. So assuming we have here just the admin role, and let's extend a bit our functionality like it would be in the real world. So for example, public action result and some task for manager. It also will return the view. And let's provide it a view. And let's provide it with the authorization for the manager role. And when we have this case, our test for this one will be unfortunately not successful, because so failed, one more test failed, but without details. So why this would happen? Just because we have the other role for our user against whom we are going to test. So, and how we can update these tests in order to cover this one. So we can also do the same here for the manager, and this test will succeed because this page will also this page will also return the redirect both for admin and manager. But how we can we can alter this test in an easy way. So let's look a bit at this handler. So as we can see, the constructor here is used, how it's to say, just under the hood. So, and we have no options to insert some additional parameters here, like the role and so on, but we have this method. And we have some pretty static functionality here, because this functionality is not dependent on the external parameters. So we can go just with this, go to refactor and extract our method. And it will be handle authenticate for role. This way, and let's bring it to the external class. So it will be public static mouse test extensions class, and we can place this method just here. Let's make it also public, and let's provide it with this method. And also let's provide the admin role. So for example, we have this admin, we can just do it as string role, and here we can just provide it as a parameter. So it will be here role, and here we can also specify the role. Not here, but here. And let's provide it with the admin role like here. And here we should also refactor this one. So it will be host builder dot with web host builder to scheme next auth get async, and so and admin auth handler. So and let's create the first of all, let's create the class for the manager. So let's copy this one, make the not admin but manager auth handler, and let's provide it with the manager role. And here we can just make this as a method. So like get this page for the admin, and can do it just also to extract this one. It will be get page for row. We are also passing the URL here, but what we also can do here, we can try to specify it as a template one, and yeah, what constraint do we have? Yeah, authentication handler, and one moment, and let's try it this way. Yeah, so and let's first of all make it a bit simpler, and let's split this test into two ones. So it will be a get page for admin with the privacy page, and it will be some task for manager and get page for manager. And let's provide the manager auth handler this way. And let's give it a try. One moment. Manager. Get page for admin. Very strange. So let's look a bit. Admin auth handler, manager auth handler. Here we have the get page for row, and here we also have this so add scheme, host builder, create client, yeah, and let's rebuild it. And let's run it one more time. Yeah, very strange. So it was just the build error, and my suggestion is just to rebuild, try to rebuild your project when you are sure that your code does work, but unfortunately it does not run, doesn't run successfully. So yeah. So, and let me also explain one thing about, in general, about this approach. So here we have splitted our test case for the pages with different roles. So for manager and for admin, just by bringing the spare functionality to the separate method, and also providing it a type. So, and we are instantiating, each time we are instantiating the test scheme with the type which is obligatory to be of this authentication handler, authentication scheme options. And here we have two types which are derived from the authentication handler, but the first one is for the admin role, which has an explicit argument of the admin role here, and for the manager one. And here we have this complete, we have this typed method for the authentication, both for admin and manager role. So, and this approach can be also refactored a bit, and can be used for the scenarios of the app functionality extension. So, for example, if there would be not just admin and manager roles, but for example some kind of semi-admin, super user, and so on. So this scenario will fit all these cases. So hopefully this video would be useful for you. If you have any comments or ideas, please write me. I'm open for discussion and creative ideas. Yeah, and have a nice day. Bye bye.